Hey y'all, it's your girl Corporate Carolyn, and I am wrapping up my work day. All I have left is my status report, and I said I would stop by and make a quick video. I hope it's quick before my husband comes home making noise and whatnot. And speaking of him, for anybody out there thinking that they can't find a husband or there's not a husband out there for them, I have to tell you, keep hope alive, because if I could find a husband, you can find a husband. And speaking of him, he actually bought this dress for me from just way back, at least 15 years ago, or maybe even more, because it was during the time there was a store called Cachet that used to exist, and it was before White House Black Market was even in business. So I know it's been a really long time. So one of the blessings is, praise the Lord, I can still fit in it. Two, that the husband that I'll be married to for 33 years next month actually likes my little hips in it. And when he came home, I knew this would be a husband pleaser. And so one of the tips that I'm going to share with you, because you guys actually are listening to the anti-aging hacks, so I said, let me keep it going as much as I can think of stuff. But speaking of the anti-aging hacks, like at 58, to be able to wear this particular outfit, and I knew what I was doing. And actually, this necklace was a gift from one of my sons. It's a necklace by Polo or Ralph Lauren that hangs down like this, and I put a little knot in it, and then I got the bright idea to tighten it and wrap it around the front, and like let it hang like here, so the husband's eyes are going like that instead of like looking at my eyes, he's looking here. And so just to have a husband that likes a B cup, because some husbands might dream of a D cup, but he's had with a B cup and little hips. So there is a husband out there for you. You just need to be faithful, and you need to keep looking and don't lose hope. So that is a bonus. That's not what I'm here to talk about. Okay, I came up with 4 more of my best anti-aging tips. And I'm drinking my apple cider vinegar, which was one of those tips, because the boy's going to take your girl out to dinner wearing the dress that he likes. So, okay, without further ado. All right, so 1. Now, I hate to keep harping on this, but it is so important. If you want to look younger, you need to lose a few pounds if you're not anywhere close to your ideal weight. The closer you can be to your ideal weight, you don't have to be on it, even if you're 10 pounds over it, because I'm not even at what they would say my ideal weight is, but you want to be as close to it as you can humanly get. So if that means lose a few pounds by moving some of your bad habits to the weekend. And so I'm not even saying like go on a crazy diet, to do Weight Watchers, to do Ozempic. In fact, I recommend that you not do Ozempic. The reason I say that is because I know it's so tempting, and it does seem exciting. Now, even I used to wonder, well, what stops a person from saying, okay, I just want to lose 5 pounds or 10 pounds. Maybe I'll use it for a couple of weeks. What I'm hearing more about it makes me think of one of those like movies from years ago where like someone might make a pact with the devil, and then like you can just live it up, and then all of a sudden at the end he comes and collects your soul. Ozempic reminds me a little bit of a lower scale version of that, in the sense that you lose the weight, but now people are talking about like lifelong diarrhea and these horrible bodily function issues that you'll have to deal with as a result. Nobody wants long-term diarrhea. I mean, that's like a catch-22. It's like, I'm slim, but I might not be able to control my bowels. That's not a worthwhile deal. So what I suggest, and I'm a person, even though I can be kind of extreme and have a few little OCD tendencies, I'm a person like with weight loss that I believe you come up with little tweaks, little hacks that you can do for a lifetime. And then that way you'll stick with it. Like Weight Watchers isn't a lifetime. Nutrisystem wouldn't be a lifetime. Ozempic wouldn't be a lifetime. But what I'm getting ready to suggest, like moving your bad habits to the weekend, that could be a lifetime decision. Like, so instead of eating chips at night while you watch television, or eating sweets like cookies, candy bars, ice cream, or if you drink beer, soda, red meat, bread and butter, all of those things, because everybody doesn't like sweets, everybody doesn't like alcohol. There's something that everyone overindulges in, and so you have to figure out what your overindulging items are, and then you want to try to relegate those things to like cheat days on the weekends. I'm not saying that you can't eat anything, like fun, like say if you go out to dinner and you have some fries or whatever. Not saying you can't do that, but if the majority of your bad eating happens on the weekends, that will save you a lot of calories. Like there's some people who are sitting around drinking sodas while they're watching television. You know what my recommendation is: drink water as much as possible instead of the sodas, and think of all the calories that you're going to save just by cutting out sodas. I really think that it's worth at least 10 pounds to your bottom line. And just losing 10 pounds, like I look at pictures of me at 38, and I was 10 pounds heavier. I think in some respects I look younger than I did then. So I think that that could definitely help you to get things under control. And I started the whole eat sweets on the weekend probably back in 2019. I was going to go on vacation, and so I decided, because I can't diet, I'm not a person who can just say, oh, I'm only going to eat cream cheese, I'm only going to eat this or that. I'm not going to eat anything with artificial sweeteners because they give me a headache, they make me feel queasy. So I can't cut calories the way that a lot of people can. And no, I'm not going to go on a protein only diet because I don't even eat steak, and I don't really like red meat like that. So there are a lot of diets that I could never take part in. And so my idea was, okay, what if I'm not eating sweets in the evenings? What if I just save that for the weekend? And then I had already switched to not eating after 8. And then I gradually moved up to intermittent fasting, where I only eat between 12 and 8 o'clock, 5 days a week. Sometimes on the weekends, I'll eat past 8, but I don't eat before 12 on the weekends either. So just things like that made such a major difference in my weight. And then so now at 58, I'm looking a little bit younger, and outfits are fitting a lot nicer because I'm making those little tweaks. I think that they'll make a big difference for you too. Check it out, give it a shot, and let me know. Okay, number 2, along the weight loss lines, find remedies to ailments that keep you from exercising. Like I know a lot of people say, well, I would walk or run, but my shins hurt, or my ankles, my knees, my feet. I might have plantar fasciitis, or just different ailments. Newsflash: you're always going to have ailments, especially as you progress past 40. I mean, at 58, I have hallux rigidus, sometimes my knees hurt for whatever reason. And this has been happening since I was 35, whether I run or not. The funny thing is, the ailments were less when I ran. And I didn't even know that I had arthritis in my left knee, or that there was wear and tear, until I had a meniscus issue, and a surgeon actually went in and saw. But I had been on the treadmill for at least an hour a day, 5 days a week. I was really getting it in. And so if he hadn't seen that, I wouldn't have known. My knees felt better when I ran than they did when I would go on vacation and do, much of nothing, just walking. So anyway, but what you can do is, and this is what I've done in the past, go to a running store. Even if you're not going to run, if you're just going to walk, they have a bunch of different shoes. They can measure your feet, and maybe make recommendations of like some of the low-end orthotics that you can put in your shoes, certain socks that might help reduce the shock on your heels if you have plantar fasciitis. I've had plantar fasciitis twice. I had plantar fasciosis, which is why I have a good podiatrist because I can't do just the, the run-of-the-mill orthotics. And also with this hallux rigidus thing, the podiatrist, he made custom orthotics for me that I can use that can help, my toes, so I don't need like surgery or anything because there's a bone spur and blah, blah, blah. It just continues. You just have to work around it, figure out the best way, find you an orthopedic specialist or an orthopedist or your podiatrist, and get you some solutions so you can work out consistently. I mean, at least 3 to 5 times a week where you're doing something. And even if it's just hula hooping, jumping rope, turn on music, dancing, like for 15, 20 minutes, I want you to do something. That's going to help your body to age better, and you're going to look more youthful. Okay, number 3, and I'm sorry to say this is for my my black sisters. Wear hairstyles that are conducive to working out. When I was getting my car serviced earlier this week, there was a lady, she was sitting on a bench, and she had like these twists that were throughout her hair that were obviously, I don't know if it was crochet, but it was attached to little sections of her hair, and it was hanging like down past her butt. They were pink and black, and they looked heavy. That was the thing that I noticed. And so I was wondering, and I shouldn't be wondering about other people's business, but I was wondering, how is she able to exercise like that? And how healthy is that for her scalp? Because a lot of us are winding up with devastated edges, hairlines are moving back, and a lot of us are choosing hairstyles over exercise, being healthy and being fit. And I would like you to pick a hairstyle. It would be neat if you could just take it off at the end of the day, or not have it on at night, and when you wake up in the morning you can work out. I was telling my cousin's husband once that no, I don't do crochet or any kind of extensions, weaves or whatever, because I want to take that thing off at night. I want to hop in the bed and I want to be uninhibited and just lie on my pillow and go to sleep. I don't want to have to pull things up that are really heavy. I get it when you're doing vacation hair. For the short term, that's fine. But where you're walking around the majority of your life with something that's so cumbersome that you're allowing it to trump working out, like hairstyle, working out at the bottom, second or third, then I would suggest, especially if you're over 25, that you choose exercise and health over your hairstyle and find something that's conducive to that. Because a lot of times we're buying expensive weaves that we're like, I don't want to mess up my weave, or extensions, I don't want to mess up my extensions, or you're running around with really big wigs. And when I saw Sierra like on a treadmill with this huge wig on, I'm like, really, Sierra? And I think she leads people down a bad path, because she may hop off that treadmill and take her wig off and work with a trainer, but a young woman who is living somewhere else saying, oh yeah, I can work out with a wig. No, you can't. If you have a decent wig, you don't want to mess it up with sweat. You want to find a hairstyle that you feel comfortable working out in. You don't want a bonnet. You don't want, like head rags or anything like that. You just want to have your hair out, let it breathe. And so you got to figure out a style. I don't know what the best solution is for you, but always have that in the back of your mind as you're picking hairstyles. I want to work out, so what am I going to be able to do? And then that also goes for the eyelashes that a lot of young women are wearing. I mean, they are so big. It's like, how are you going to work out with that unless you can take them off every day? But I don't know if people are doing that. And also the really long fingernails that are pointy. How are you going to do any kind of push-ups or planks? If you're so worried about messing up your nails, newsflash, your health is most important. Your heart health, just being able to be flexible, to be at a healthy weight so you don't wind up with things like diabetes, heart disease, hypertension. I already said hypertension. You don't want these things to be in your future, like arthritis, things like that. You really want to be able to exercise on a regular basis so that these things aren't in your future, or at least not to the extent where it could be life-changing for you. Okay, so number 4, speaking of, I was saying like exercise or bust, basically. So that leads me to my next point. You really need a good bra. to lift the girls and to boost them up. Like I said, I'm a B cup, and so I do wear little push-up bras that the husband loves. I found some really good ones at Saks Fifth Off Fifth by Calvin Klein. They just help, to push them together and up. But you really want support, like for your back, if your boobs are really big. You also don't want gravity to fight against you and cause them to sag or to hang. And the blessing of it is, even though I wear the little push-up bras or whatever, when I wear my like sports bras or, just work out, they're still lifting up. Because one of the things that I'm going to post, someone asked me to post some of my favorite exercises. When I could do the high intensity interval training, I would do the ones by Jeanette Jenkins, where there was a lot of opportunity to do like push-ups, burpees, planks, and things. Those build up the muscles behind your breast tissue, and that helps to lift them up. There was a time when I had done them a lot where I could actually move. I'm not going to do that on camera. I could move my pecs a little bit like Terry Crews can. And then I noticed when I got the mammogram recently, the technician was saying that the muscles here are kind of hard, and so she wanted me to navigate a certain way so she could test those out, or get an image of those as well, because she said they're hard. And I said I think it's because of the burpees and also like the push-ups and things. And so anyway, so that helps you to look youthful too. If your boobs are hanging down low, or if they're, not as firm as you'd like them to be, then a lot of times not wearing a bra when you're doing things like running and jumping and exercising, it can make you look more so your age. So definitely look into the best bras to protect your girls. And like I said, I got a mammogram. If you're due for a mammogram, make sure you're taking care of your breasts inside and out. And then, I have one more. Number 5, and I think this might be the most important one. You must feel good about yourself, and so you need to make mental health decisions, because if you're suffering from low self-esteem, or if you don't feel good about yourself, that shows, it radiates. Low self-esteem can radiate from your countenance, and it'll make people view you as being a little older than what you might be. So how do you do that? One of the ways I would say is don't spend more time than you have to with people that don't celebrate you. Because there's some people who are not celebrating you, they tolerate you. And so I avoid a lot of those people if they're just putting up with you or putting you down. As like for this one lady wrote me, she said that someone said she looked like a cow. She was in her 30s, and I hope she was joking. But I do know that people can really put you down and say negative things about your weight, about your hair. Because I remember growing up that people said negative things about my weight and hair. Speaking of which, I'm not for everybody. And there are some people who just tolerate me and they don't celebrate me. And there are people in my family. And so I had to make the conscious decision to not spend any more time with them than I absolutely have to. I love them, but if you notice that a person can go your whole life and not really compliment you. They can compliment other people, but they don't compliment you. Like they have some sort of problem with you and they make you feel less than. You shouldn't feel less than. You should spend more time with people who make you feel like you're valuable and you're a great person. You may not be for everybody either, and that's okay. Everybody's not for me either. And but if someone is making you feel not so good about yourself, maybe you'll make it a point not to spend as much time with them. People can be mean, but you don't have to put up with it. It is bad for your mental health, in my opinion. And at 58, I have really learned to value my mental health. And so it's a premium. It's at a premium. I'm not allowing anybody to come in and, just run amok and make me feel some kind of way, because I'm a valuable person. You're a valuable person too. And it took too long to get a certain level of self-esteem. So why would you let anybody wreck that? Don't stick around people that are not being nice to you. Like if it is somebody that's not being nice to you and you really love them and you want to spend time with them, let them know how you feel. Write them a little note. Tell them how they're making you feel and give them an opportunity to change that. Be sure to stand up for yourself. You are an important person, and nobody has the right to make you feel like you are less than important. So here, Auntie Carolyn, you are important, and you definitely want people to treat you right. And so I think that if you create a loving environment for yourself, love yourself enough to make sure that only people who value you are in your space on a regular basis. I don't care if it's your mother. You can spend time with them, but when they are acting up and not being nice to you, you can say, oh, okay, well, Mom, I love you. I just called to check on you. I'll talk to you next week. And you keep it moving, but protect your mental well-being. So I think that will go a long way towards you looking and definitely feeling your best and looking younger than you are when you get to be my age. But anyway, guys, I hope that helps someone out there. I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a good one.